Hey everyone! Oh, let me get that is I know that didn't that didn't sound good. Uh how is everyone doing? You know, uh I've sc- I'm doing some experiments. Hold on. Oh, hey, hi. I've you know I'm about as or I've done just gonna wing it this episode. It's it's kind of a holiday episode, so I'm just gonna wing it. Just gonna wing it. Hope everyone is doing good. You know, I decided to go on today, just just for why is the heater on? Why do I definitely don't need the heater on? Just to see what is gonna. And I'm doing some tests. I'm doing some tests. Things that I wouldn't normally do on a regular episode, but I'm doing it on this episode because there's some things that I want to test. Because when you don't really know how these live sessions go, like you don't know the user experience and all this kind of stuff, yada yada yada. So I am doing a few things to see if I can get a better understanding, so I can understand the user experience. Because when you're sitting in this chair, it's a lot different what's going out there. So. I, I think, okay. So here's what, you know what, guys, here's what I thought I was going to do today. You know, it was kind of like, I didn't want to get too heavy. And yesterday we did the Age of Disclosure, did the review for the Age of Disclosure, the Amazon Prime movie about alien abduction, not alien abductions, but the fact that aliens have, or aliens visiting us. Government officials talking about finding alien spacecraft, finding alien bodies, the idea that the government is hiding aliens and they're not disclosing the fact that there's aliens. So it was kind of, you know, that was yesterday's episode. And I had a whole episode set up ready to basically go videos that debunk all that stuff. And I thought didn't want to do it today. I'm going to do that tomorrow. And I wanted, because I'm going to be on for a few hours this evening. So I wanted to do something that was a little bit lighter today, given the fact that it's a holiday, it's Thanksgiving in the United States and whatnot. So I hope everyone is enjoying. I guess everyone who is in the United States is enjoying their Turkey Day, or those of us who have no family, we are enjoying it nonetheless. But I thought what would be really fun would be go back and take a nostalgic trip back on some of the great sci-fi trailers of our time. Going back to, I made a list, right? So I was going through some of these sci-fi trailers. And, you know, it's amazing when you go back and you look at these trailers, you realize how movies and the marketing have changed. They're so simplistic going back, you know, if you look at the original Star Wars, right? And I remember seeing Star Wars in the theaters. I was born in '67, so it was a pretty amazing experience. Star Wars was a pretty amazing experience. As a kid, you can't really compare it to anything. Certainly not anything today. The only thing that's close to it is Avatar, and Avatar, you know, doesn't. It's a very different movie. Media is so spread out. There's echo chambers everywhere. Thousands of conversations. Dana White had an interview. I should have pulled that up, but he had a great way of explaining it. That basically, you know, you're never going to have another Star Wars. You're never going to have another Marvel. You're not going to have another one of these massive fandom, because media is so spread out. Media is these echo chambers, social media echo chambers. The closest thing we have, and is Avatar. But you got to understand, it's only having its third movie. It's kind of like, the third Star Wars movie, not The Empire Strikes, but Return of the Jedi. The Ewoks. Remember the Ewoks? Oh my God. The Ewoks. That was a bad idea. That was, you know. All right. That's enough of that. So Avatar. So the third Avatar movie is coming out. It's going to be one of the only movies that's going to pump out billions of dollars, right? Asses and seats. I spent 20 years in Hollywood. I just moved away. Can I say thank God on a godless universe? And I say that humbly because obviously I am not a believer in that way. And if you are, that's fine. I make no judgments on people who are, in that way. But you take a look at, do you know we just had a whole bunch of movies that came out. I do think Sydney Sweeney's new movie that came out, Christie. That was just a bad idea. That was just a bad idea. That was what Julia Roberts had a movie. Did anyone even know? Like some of these movies, and actually, so there's actually a video I want to watch. What's his name? And it's about 11-minute video. He talks about what's wrong with the movie business. But do you remember seeing the Star Wars trailer? Do you remember seeing the Event Horizon? I got a list of some of the top sci-fi movies. Event Horizon. Do you remember the Alien trailer? I haven't seen that. Inception. That's only in 2010. That's not too long ago. Man of Steel. Do you remember that trailer? 2001: A Space Odyssey. I haven't seen 2001: Space Odyssey. I haven't seen that trailer. I don't even remember the last time I saw it. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to go back and check out some of these old trailers, talk about it, watch them, talk about them, make some comments. I really love Avatar. You know what I love about Avatar, Touch? Jesus loves me. Well, thank you. Jesus hates you. Come on, man. I'm not a believer. But, about Avatar is basically, it is the only thing that has impact on our real time zeitgeist. A lot of people say that it doesn't have the pop culture impact that other movies had. Like some people try to equate it to Star Wars and Marvel. Dear God, Marvel's been around for 8 decades, 8 decades. Star Wars has been around for what, five decades. When Star Wars came out, you only had one echo chamber. Everyone talked about it. All the media talked about one movie. In today's cinema is dying, right? The idea of a cinema is dying. I spent 20 years in Hollywood. I'm a screenwriter. And I never sold one of my screenplays. And I've won many awards, hundreds of awards in film festivals around the world. I've had offers. I've had offers for options. But I never sold because I didn't want my screenplays to turn into like those 2.6 out of 10 on IMDb, have my name attached to it. As a writer who just loves writing, I'll wait for a perfect opportunity. And if I go on to the next life without anything being produced, that's fine. At least my name's not associated with, absolute crap on IMDb. If you're a writer, if you're a real writer, and you write stuff and you spend so much time, to be a writer, you need to spend endless amounts of time by yourself writing. A real writer won't use AI because they just love writing. You might use it for some ideas. Do I think culture ruins screenplay cinemas? Well, I think a lot of things have ruined the cinema experience. I think when the smartphone came out, the smartphone did a huge number. It changed how we view movies, how we see movies, how we interact with movies. Hollywood, put a gun to its own head, and it played Russian roulette with a loaded gun. It didn't have one It was a loaded gun that Hollywood was playing with. They took writing, even my screenplays. I had requests that I would make it more diverse and inclusive on my screenplays. I said, look, man, I write my screenplays the way it is. The second you start writing with an ulterior motive in mind, or like if you don't put story front and center, if you don't put the idea of the protagonist and antagonist, the more locked they are with their horns, the more the antagonist seeks to, I don't know if destroy is the right word, prevent the protagonist from achieving what they want, the more pronounced. Obviously, there's a lot of things that go into that story. But a good example, a recent example is Fantastic Four. I mean, that was such a terribly written screenplay. 30 minutes of pregnancy. They didn't even tie the antagonist Galactus to the baby until the 2/3 through the movie or halfway through the movie. So pregnant Sue Storm goes through space. Apparently they were in space for a month, right? Something like that. And then they get, so what, are you going to go attack Galactus? Perhaps they shouldn't have used an ultra powerful antagonist that could basically defeat Thanos, right? I mean, I think most people would agree that Galactus on one-on-one could probably take Thanos with the glove. And the Fantastic Four is going to fight Galactus. I mean, the Thing didn't do anything. He was just a cook and a pilot. This was, they used so much science. They tried to put black holes in an FTL. They tried to use wormholes. They tried to use teleporting. Can you imagine teleporting the Earth 1 million light years away? Or how many, I don't know where he's trying to teleport the Earth. You're going to teleport the Earth without the moon? You teleport the Earth without the moon. You have utter chaos with the Earth. I mean, the part of what makes the Earth so hospitable for life is the fact that we have a moon and all those things with tidal wave, tidal forces and everything that makes life possible. So I mean, so this is a science fiction writer for I didn't even look who the writer was for Fantastic Four. It was bad science. If you look at a movie that had a much smaller budget that was made 30 years, Event Horizon, right? I bring up Event Horizon quite often. That is one of those movies that wasn't, even when 2001: A Space Odyssey came out, you talk about sci-fi movies, it wasn't accepted with big open arms when it came out. It took a while for it. I think I've got the history, but then it was re-released, and then it got its legs, and the media and the audience. That's genius. Kubrick was he's a visual arts genius. Part of the big problem, especially with sci-fi. I mean, Christopher Nolan, I think, tries to do it pretty good with maintaining science approximate, science close. Kirk Cameron, James Cameron, Kirk Cameron. Oh my God, where did that come from? James Cameron with his ISV, the Venture Star, he uses a lot of real physics, real science. Part of what is tough to see at work is the idea that there's also antimatter, matter. Energy that he uses. We haven't seen antimatter anywhere in our universe except for in small amounts in the quantum realm. I'm not even sure in the specifics of how we've seen that. Jake, I feel like if movies were good and had special movie premiere setups other than cheap novelty buckets, people would actually go out and enjoy movies. Nothing is really good nowadays to make plans for it. Well, then that's right. And it's also expensive. You got to think of how inflation has utterly destroyed. And I worked on Wall Street for many years as a market maker on NYSE and NASDAQ, as well as an economic analyst. You got to think people are hurting, right? You're going to go, family of four. What is a movie for a family of four going to cost? $100, and the kids want popcorn. $150 minimum for one movie, or you could stay at home and watch Netflix because we have the $14.99 no ads special or package. That is a huge. Why would you spend $150? I mean, it's got to be an experience, right? It's got to be an experience. The movie has to be an experience for a family when people are already wondering if they're going to have enough money for rent and food and everything like that. Because the inflation numbers, I'll guarantee you guys, the inflation numbers, the way they manufacture the inflation numbers are, because they use things like substitution. Well, if beef has gone up this much, they'll say, well, people will prone to substitute it with chicken. And to a certain degree, that is correct. But it still doesn't capture the idea of what inflation is. So I do think when you take a look at the amount of money it costs to go see a movie nowadays, it had better be an experience for, families to go out there and spend that kind of money. What are my thoughts on movies like The Thing back when the 80s sci-fi, The Thing? I mean, you're talking Kurt Russell. I mean, The Thing is, I remember watching The Thing when it came out. I was 13, 14, wasn't supposed to watch it. I remember Conan the Barbarian. It was restricted. I wasn't supposed to watch it. I thought it was the coolest movie ever. Those were different days. That's when people would actually write a movie with a real protagonist and a real antagonist, and make a movie with story, because there's real science to story. There really is. No one can put their finger on why story works exactly, but there are certain things that deal with the protagonist, the antagonist, the inciting incident, the internal and external conflicts of the protagonist, how the antagonist, you want that antagonist connected, like the Terminator. Right, the Terminator was connected to John Connor and what's her name? Linda Hamilton was there was such a connection with protagonist and antagonist. Even though the antagonist was such a simple character, you knew what the mission was. But that's also what made it a great movie. You can go to The Matrix. The Matrix is classic. Even for another Keanu Reeves one, you can go even more recently. The first John Wick is you talk about a passive protagonist. Until the Baba Yaga scene, you've got a passive protagonist. Now, I mean, it's not sci-fi, and of course, the Godless Universe, we are kind of a sci-fi. I shouldn't say we're as much pop culture as anything else. This channel, but. First John Wick, even as a screenwriter, the first 5 minutes, movies are a visual medium, right? Movies are a visual medium. And when you write a screenplay, you can't novelize it, right? You can't, and a lot of screenplays are literally thrown into the garbage. Someone will read the screenplay and it's novelized. They're writing it like they're describing things that are seen in a way that a novel describes it. If you read the Alien screenplay, that's like, for any screenwriter that's starting out, you read the original Alien screenplay, and that is like a minimalist screenplay that tells the director exactly what the audience should see. And when you watch the movie and then you read the screenplay, you're like, damn, I mean, on the money, right? Ridley Scott. I mean, that was a great movie. I mean, that was, but the first 5 minutes of John Wick was pure visual storytelling. And it starts with, and I've used this with some of my screenplays, it's got to be done right. It starts with the ending. So the opening scene is the SUV going in and smacking after he gets into the fight with the Russian dude, mob boss. And he gets out, he's bleeding, and then he pulls out the phone and he's got his wife. And that's, we're starting to introduce. So we see this guy. We're like, whoa, what turn of events could have happened to have made our protagonist in this state Is he going to die? He's bleeding and he's watching obviously someone he loves. And then that goes and that takes goes through 5 minutes. They establish his love for his wife, which establishes the connection with the dog. It establishes the connection with his buddy, the sniper, the goblin guy. God, I'm so bad with names. And it's on a rainy day. He's there. It's the first words that are said in the movie that aren't actually recorded on a phone. But it's like the 5 or 6 minute mark before anything is said. That is freaking brilliant movie making. It's all visual. Show don't tell. It's a cliche in movies, but it is. It's an incredible movie. And then he's a passive protagonist, as our antagonists kind of have his way. And you're like, we don't even know who this guy is. We don't even know who this guy is. Who is this John Wick guy? He gets his ass kicked. They killed his dog. And one of the best things, I always bring up Tombstone. When you write a screenplay, when people kill your animal, they kill your dogs, or you have a protagonist defending in Frankenstein. Guillermo del Toro did that with the deer in the forest, and the hunters come and Superman saved a squirrel. James Gunn. Oh my God! Superman was bad. That was a really bad. Superman was bad, guys. It has not been a good. It has not been a good year for movies. It has not. Oh, that is red wine. I cannot not have red wine on Thanksgiving, right? Can I? Yeah. So, but I like to, I want to, which one? I think I had the original Star Wars lined up for the first, you know what, guys? There's one thing. I did a video on my other channel talking about Sean Levy. On a conversation, and Sean Levy came out and said that basically Kathleen Kennedy is giving him carte blanche. Basically, from what I understand, full story authority, a full final cut. When Sean Levy asked, what Star Wars should I make? What character should I focus on? This is the Star Wars Starfighter. She said that do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Now, if Kathleen Kennedy, now Sean Levy, he did Deadpool and Wolverine, right? And did you see what just came out? The real budget for Deadpool Wolverine was almost $550 million. I mean, $550 million. Because they tried to come out and say with marketing it was $350 million. So basically that movie broke even, lost money in the theaters. Now, that was Sean Levy movie. Was it a great plot? No. I mean, that was a Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds movie. The story was pretty weak. The story was pretty weak, right? Of Deadpool, Wolverine. But so Sean Levy was told by Kathleen Kennedy, so it's kind of interesting in the fact that they're not saying carry on from The Acolyte. Carry on where The Acolyte left off, right? Could you freaking imagine that? Yeah, no, we want to carry on the story of The Acolyte. I mean, Ahsoka's bad enough, right? I mean, it's Disney, it's princess power. Everything is being, turning into a princess. They're literally turning their audience into a 25% market share, which is a big reason why I think you might not see Disney in 10 to 15 years from now. This might be a company whose assets might be sold off because the world is changing and Disney is not changing with it. It is trying to be the princess company of 30 years ago. And I've maintained for the last few years, the zenith of Disney was 2019. If you look at its raw numbers, its top line revenue, it made a net of, I forgot how many billions. Well, that's been cut by 60%. Its failures in movies, theme parks. It's just building 2 or 3 massive cruise liners. Its intellectual property is failing everywhere. People are not buying the dolls. People are not buying Moana 2. The live action got ratioed. I think it's got still got 38 billion in debt after the Fox Century Fox purchase. I don't know if Disney will be around the way it is right 10 to 15 years from now, because it is saying we only want 25% of the market. We want princesses. They've effectively, told the alpha males, go fuck yourself, go pound sand. We're not going to, Endgame was the last alpha male movie we'll give you. And everything that we've had from Star Wars since has been that way. And it affects the entire science fiction genre. And science fiction is also part of science fact. It is science fiction inspires scientists. I'll guarantee you, all of the old school guys from Brian Cox to Brian Greene to all these guys were inspired from science fiction. That's where, if you tend to like science fiction, you tend to like astronomy stuff, right? I mean, I am a hobbyist astrophysicist. That's kind of, my thing. So when Kathleen Kennedy tells Sean Levy or Levy? I don't even know what is it, Levy or Levy? I think it's Levy. He's a talented filmmaker, but basically you're telling me you have no one at Lucasfilm that deals with story or continuity. So on a film set, you have someone what's called a continuity officer. And this person, scene to scene, makes sure that all the little things, if someone is wearing a red beanie, they make sure they're not wearing a blue beanie in the next scene. Because scenes aren't shot back to back, right? It could be a month later that the next scene is being shot because of location or whatever it is. So I was surprised that Star Wars and Lucasfilm did not have any continuity officers or continuity people. This person controls the story to make sure we have continuity across our universe. No, apparently not. She tells Sean Levy just to make up your own lore. I mean, I think Sean Levy is smart as what he said. He wants to go back to A New Hope and use that spirit, that tone, which is, the first 2 Star Wars movies, right? That's Star Wars, right? That's, we take a look at the prequels now. I don't know, man. The Ewoks, I think that was, dang, dude. Oh, geez. If it wasn't for the final fight, you talk about protagonist and antagonist connection, right? Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker. That was a protagonist-antagonist relationship that was so deep. Big reason why Star Wars worked, right? Yes, it was the tech. Yes, it was the lore. Yes, it was the fact that we were landing on the moon. We were the space shuttle was starting. We were Voyager 1, Voyager 2, Star Trek, Dune came out in 64, 65. 2001: A Space Odyssey. This was a magical time for sci-fi, so it's a magical time for building these fandoms, right? You're not going to get that with an Avatar. We just don't have that environment. But the fact that an Avatar can do $3 billion worth of ticket sales still, it'll be interesting to see how Fire and Ash does. But so I don't know. I don't know if this is good or bad. The fact that Kathleen Kennedy tells Sean Levy to say, do what you want. How much you want? How much money do you want? And I just cut you a check. Well, we spent $550 million on Deadpool Wolverine. Is $600 million okay? $600 million okay? I don't know what his budget's going to be, but I'll guarantee you there'll be plenty for extra shoots and things like that. Every movie nowadays. How many extra shoots? If you watch Captain America, this year's Captain America, A Brave New World, it didn't really fuck. What a butchery chopping block. They filmed 3 movies and they stitched 3 different movies together into one. It was such a bad movie. I was watching it and I could not. As a screenwriter, I'm like, what's the story here? You got characters that don't even have to be in this thing, and you put them in because you just paid them a bunch of money. So let's try and insert them here somewhere. And I mean, Thunderbolts. I mean, jeez. Marvel is, yeah, it's, um, it's sad, right? I mean, you think, Doomsday after Robert Downey Jr.? I mean, this is it. What do you got after this? You're going to go back to Ironheart? Did you watch Ironheart? I couldn't finish it. I couldn't freaking finish Ironheart. There's no way. Did anyone finish Ironheart? I had watch Ironheart. It's like The Witcher. You can't watch that unless you're reviewing it. You can't watch that junk, utter junk. I don't even know how the people that are in the screenwriting room, how do they get their job? I know a lot of great screenwriters, like good ones, I mean, I've won my share of awards. They've won some, awards, especially in the film festival circuit, which is pretty brutal. Like some of these film festivals have 2,000 entries. And when you win, you're like, damn. I mean, you're humbled every time. I mean, I won a few hundred times all over the world. But it doesn't say the director's going to take your screenplay and make magic out of it. Still could be shit. You got to take words on paper. And then the director has got to have, and that's why writer-directors tend to be the best. Denis Villeneuve is writing Dune. He's directing Dune. Yes, he's got 2-3 other writers in the room with him, which on a film of that scale, you got to have people that are helping you with story. You do. You've always got to give your screenplay or your oh geez, you know what? So someone asked me to review Critical Drinkers movie. Critical Drinkers movie. I'm going to talk more about it on my Poprageous channel later today. It seems to me, I don't like being mean. I like being real. I don't mind saying the truth. It seems to me that you do have a lot of, like Chris Stuckman. Like, have you ever, like, is that a review? You spend half the review talking about plot and the director. I don't need to know who the director was on a review. Just give me what worked and what didn't. So if you know maybe a little bit more about story and reviews, like, okay, tell me about the inciting incident. Tell me about the character development, or if the characters weren't fully developed, give me some specifics at least. I mean, not just cliched top line. But I don't know if you've watched. So if you got the point is, here's the point. If you have a film critic who goes out there and does his own movie, and it's absolute garbage, like it is, like it's not even a low B score, right? I mean, it is like, ooh, I don't even know if does it even have an IMDb score. I'm not gonna check right now. If you're reviewing movies and you produce a movie that is that bad, it's not even a low budget B movie. It's like D minus. And you didn't even, you used your subscribers' money to make it, based on a GoFundMe. I mean, that was a good use of proceeds. Anyway, it just kind of goes to show you that even the people that are out there that are shooting arrows at some of the movies, who knows how to make a movie at the end of the day, right? Or how to take a real sci-fi concept. Christopher Nolan has made some pretty interesting sci-fi stuff. Studios generally don't tell him how to, I don't think he has Final Cut. I think he shares Final Cut with the studio. But even the movies that he makes, he doesn't get Final Cut. Maybe he does. I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I know a lot of the times we have directors that big, they get Final Cut with the studio. The studio will share Final Cut. So the studio might say, well, no, we don't like this. And then Christopher Nolan says, well, I'm not going to take that out because blah, blah, blah. And somehow they have to come to an agreement until the final edit of the movie is, everyone agrees and out it goes. So cheers. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I mean, that's, and those of you in Australia, Canada, Europe, anywhere else, cheers anyway. Ooh. Oh, so I'm going to, have you guys remember the First Star Wars. Where is it? Star Wars. Star Wars. Oh man, this trailer. Reason why movies are failing: The Matrix, Empire. There it is. Star Wars: A New Hope. Hold on a second. Don't start. I'm gonna set this up here. I'm gonna move my screen around. I think I need to get a second computer. One to my left and then one to my right. Then I can like go. I mean, I know most streamers, they got like, someone else doing this stuff for them. It's like, damn. I guess I gotta keep growing. There we go. So this is the original. I gotta stop every once in a while so I don't get copyrighted. I'm not sure if I get copyrighted on this old stuff or not, but I think this is the original Star Wars trailer.
20th Century Fox and George Lucas bring you an adventure unlike anything on your planet.
I mean, that was the way trailers were made back in those days. Like, you remember, right? They had the certain voice, the certain style, the certain. I mean, it's just so different. It's so different nowadays. And I think there might be 2 or 3 versions of the original trailer. I tried to find the original, the first trailer that came out.
Star Wars.
Stop that ship! Faster! Julie, get us out of here!
It's still like they don't. I remember watching Star Wars in the theaters. They just don't make movies like this anymore. I know it's a cliche. Is the volume okay? Can you hear the volume in the from the trailer?
Oh my, I'd forgotten how much I
Should be able to, right?
Travel.
Here they come.
They're coming in too fast!
The story of a boy, a girl, and a universe.
Help me over.
I mean, it's kind of funny when they talk about, a story about a boy, a girl, and a universe. Was like, wait a sec, that's his sister, man. And of course, back then we didn't know. It was kind of, the marketing for the movie. But like, really?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
It's a big, sprawling space saga of rebellion and romance.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Come with you to Alderaan. There's nothing for me here now.
I actually remember this trailer. I was 10 years old when it came out, and I remember watching it on back there TVs. Back then, you had to have the old tube TVs. You had to change the vacuum tubes once in a while. Oh man, it was a different time. But I do remember, like, the special effects. The talk about the special effects. I don't know if anyone is old enough to remember that. But the special effects at that time were absolutely mind blowing, right? And that started with 2001: A Space Odyssey. That really made people literally, then we had Cosmos in 1980 with Carl Sagan. There were so many things coming out at that time that made people dream about the stars, about the universe. Science fiction was the catalyst that inspired so many astrophysicists, so many people to get into, and it's not the same anymore, right? Science fiction. The one example that I use, it's, have you guys seen Section 31? have you seen Section 31? Oh my God, that is literally the worst Star Trek. They think science fiction is because a girl blows a bubble, a round bubble. When you blow a bubble, it's round. Oh no, but they do a heart-shaped bubble. That's their idea of science fiction, right? Oh, that's really science fiction, like, because, it's different. This is the level of writing that you get, right? Section 31. Like, that is like, Jeez.
I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
It's a spectacle, light years ahead of its time. It's an epic of heroes.
Hit the accelerator. Yeah!
I remember being a little kid in the theater, and I remember when they flew in to destroy the Death Star like that. I was just at the edge of my seat. I mean, I think I was going to pee my pants. It was like so, because you never saw anything like this, right? Today we see this stuff all the time. Back then, you never seen anything like this. Nobody's seen anything like this on the big screen. There was no equivalent. Today it's just it's you know. It's you got a pregnant woman going up with two other guys in a big rock thing, going FTL through wormholes, fighting Silver Surfers and at a black hole. And back then, this was so exciting.
Villains
So exciting.
and aliens from 1,000 worlds.
Go that way. You'll be malfunctioning within a day, you nearsighted scratch pile.
Classic relationship, right? Those two droids.
Star Wars. 1 billion years in the making. The Force will be with you.
The Force will be with us. Yeah, it's just awesome. Just awesome, right? The excitement. The excitement of watching Star Wars for the first time. I don't know how old you guys were when you first watched Star Wars, but I tell you, for sci-fi science fiction, let's go right. I'm going to go right to Empire Strikes Back. You gotta think how trailers were back then to where they were now. The science fiction, right? Some of the ideas that Lucas had, they came naturally from Star Trek. That came from even Dune. They even came from, Stanley Kubrick, 2001: A Space Odyssey. But even Empire Strikes Back was 1980, right? It's still the 70s. It's still the 70s, right? The science fiction concepts still work today, right? Even though you probably aren't going to make the, I forgot what these things are called, but I remember as a kid, I was terrified of these things. I was just terrified. These giant, robot four-legged monstrosities coming to, but Star Wars it tapped our imaginations, our emotions, characters that were developed without DEI, BS. There's no need for a gay relationship. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? I mean, I could pull a Jerry Seinfeld. It's just not mainstream. I mean, there's a new movie that has the two gay hockey players. Not a movie. It's a TV show, right? The two NHL gay hockey players. Not something for me. Someone has every right to make it if you think you're going to make money that way, but a lot of people, it's not mainstream. That doesn't mean it can't be made, but typically speaking, it's a fringe audience that's really going to gravitate towards it, and women, right? For some women, they're and that's fine. But back in the 80s, 90s, and even 2000s. This stuff wasn't important. The story was the important protagonist, antagonist. What's the conflict? What's the struggle? It's life or death. It has stuff that we are compelled to want to be a part of. The Han Solo and Princess Leia love affair, sort of. I mean, that was comedy relief. I love you. I know. Do you know on that scene when Han Solo was being frozen? A lot of people don't know this. They could not get. They kept retaking it, and they had all these other lines that Han Solo was going to say. I love you too, and I'll miss you. All this other stuff, and then Harrison Ford. He said, let me do, they were going to wrap it up. He said, let me do one more. Let me do one more. And they did one more. And that's what it is. He goes, I know. And of course, sometimes actors do know best. They do. Harrison Ford, he's done that in I think in Indiana Jones a few times. He's participated in the writing process. But if you're with Quentin Tarantino, if you're an actor, you keep your mouth shut with Quentin Tarantino. You don't fucking give any, you just say your lines the way he wants you to say them. Quentin Tarantino, there's a few directors that are like, I hire you to say the lines that I write. Now shut the fuck up and let me do my job. I mean, is R2-D2 not adorable? R2-D2 is freaking adorable. I mean, granted, the sword fighting was nothing like, Anakin fighting Kenobi in, what was the third one? The third prequel. I mean, some of that fighting was, maybe it went on too long and it was too fast. And maybe I actually took 2 years of kendo, the Japanese sword fighting. I actually took 2 years. I mean, I think maybe it went on a little bit too long, but it was pretty amazing, right? I mean, compared to, but the original Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back is so story rich. You didn't need Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader to get into this epic fight where, you just knew it was an epic fight. You knew that these two characters were epic characters. Nowadays, right? What was it? The beginning of Ahsoka, where what's his name comes in with the small blonde hair, basically his attack dog. And now they're using the Force. They're using the Force like Harry Potter uses his wand. Like, ease up on the frickin' Force, right? It's not supposed to be like this. It's freaking painful. A good screenwriter can take something like the Force and make it a whole lot more than just moving shit. It's called imagination. You're a writer. I'll tell you, man. I think like a Superman's Fantastic Four, these movies. I think there's some AI scenes because they're heartless, they're soulless. The dialogue. The dialogue. Like some of the my screenwriter friends, when we talk about it, we laugh. I mean, I think everyone who's a writer or a screenwriter, and you don't have to be a screenwriter to laugh at the shit you get fed in a lot of movies nowadays. But I don't. Cinema is going to continue to die. And it's going to be a very specific, particular experience. What we had was Star Wars, and The Empire Strikes Back is something that will not be there for future audiences, except for very specific movies and circumstances. Like the rom-coms. The rom-coms they're going straight to, like, why would you do a rom-com and put it into the theaters? Right? Which is probably not I don't know if that's a bad thing necessarily, but when you have Deadpool and Wolverine, which budget, like I said, the budget for Deadpool Wolverine, $550 million, that just came out, yesterday? $550 million? It kind of makes you think with Sean Levy now doing Star Wars and him having carte blanche, do whatever you want, Kathleen Kennedy. You could tell that he was surprised. Do whatever you want with the Star Wars Starfighter. He goes, you don't have any lore guardrails. You don't have any story people that kind of watch the lore. They just like go and, yeah, but that is what they do, right? You could tell that's what Star Wars does. I mean, just the Ahsoka. What was that song? One of many? We are one of the many. Empire Strikes Back. Awesome. How? Fuck. Those are characters that were written on screen. Look, George Lucas did not do the best dialogue. And it is known that there were many dialogue changes, additions in the first movies. In the prequels, some of the dialogue in the prequels, oh my God. It is literally some of the worst dialogue. Jaden Christensen acted some of the worst scenes ever, right? Did you guys remember like, but the dude's an icon now, right? He goes to these Star Wars conventions because he's part of the old school. He's not part of the new school. The prequels are part of the old school. It's science fiction that has become much more highly regarded since the stuff that have been fed. And a lot of the new Star Wars stuff, I'm not like, I don't have time to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I watched a little bit of The Mandalorian, but they don't write like that anymore, right? That's the old song. Hey, 20th Century Fox. Yeah, baby. And of course, Darth Vader was such by the second movie was already such an icon, right? And I remember as a kid, these characters imprinted because the struggle was real. The stories were so well interwoven between protagonist, antagonist, and then these subplots. The casting was perfect. Harrison Ford, gosh, what is Star Wars without Harrison Ford? It almost seems like, Lando Calrissian was an amazing character, right? Played by what's his name? These are just characters that you felt for and cared for, right? So anyway, the next, I got a whole bunch of these old trailers, but I did also pull up in part of the Matrix. So the Matrix trailer, sorry. What? The Matrix is, let me put where is the Matrix? This is like I say, in each one I try to pull up the original trailer as we would have seen it back then. And so the Matrix was 1999. And of course this was the time, and I just did the review on the Age of Disclosure yesterday. And where this 1990s is where that's where all of the UAP sightings, everything dealing with UAPs exploded. Like 20, 30, 50 fold. And it had everything to do with the internet. Because now we could share experiences, right? I remember my first email. Holy geez, did I poop my pants? Right? I mean, I don't even remember what year it was. And I set up a Hotmail. And a friend of mine showed me how to set up a Hotmail. I said, what is it? And they sent me that first email. I was like, what are we talking about here? I think within 2 months, I learned how to code. I learned all the CSS, HTML, all that stuff. I learned Photoshop. I learned all the software. Thinking, okay, now all that stuff is obsolete, right? Because you could just punch it into AI. I need a CSS, HTML, string, or I need a query string for Java to put something in your website for this, and then just spits it. You need to know how to place it, but you can even ask AI where to place it. It's all obsolete now, right? I was just talking to a friend of mine today. Have you seen the robots that are coming out? Have you seen where they are? There was a South Park episode that talked about, if you remember it, about the handy guys, right? They were all the wealthy guys. I guarantee you guys, if you're an electrician, there's going to be robots that will come to your door. They will knock, and they will have a human voice. They will have dexterity in their fingers. They'll ask you where where's the fuse box is. You're having a problem. You need this. Now, they may not be able to get into more sophisticated building projects, not for a while. But the idea that these robots will be able to come and fix your fence gate because the hinges came off and whatever it is. There's some AI stuff I want to take a look at next week's episodes. AI is, who cares about the aliens, man? In 10 years from now, there's never been a situation, a case, where less intelligent species has ruled over a more intelligent species. And if we think that when robots become autonomous, have 10 times the, quote, number of neurons in their brains compared to ours, that's a scary shit, man. But anyway, this is The Matrix, which is especially relevant today with a whole bunch of manufactured reality, Charlie Kirk, manufactured reality, and it's going to be happening more, guys. Now that you can create AI and make it look absolutely real, everything on YouTube becomes suspect. Everything. Whoa. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This has got to be one of the top 3 all-time best sci-fi movies. I just watched it again 6 weeks ago, and I swear, I think after I watched it, it was number 1 on my book.
I had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real.
Love this movie.
What if you were unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world?
What is happening to me?
The answer is out there, Neo. It's the question that drives us.
What is the Matrix?
The Matrix is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
Do you guys remember seeing this movie in theaters for the first time? I remember seeing it, and I had no idea what to expect. I think I just had a couple of friends saying, "Wow, this is a pretty amazing movie." I didn't even have any idea what to expect. And I was an English major university. I took creative writing in university, right? So I was already in sort of the zeitgeist of writing and everything like that. So I did not know what to expect. The very idea at the time, I think for a lot of people seemed a little, this is science fiction, it's out there. And now we realize it's not. When we get chipped, when the government chips us, and a lot of people say, they're not putting a chip in me. Well, you're not going to get a lot of the services from the government. You'll be locked out of society. I guarantee you it's going to happen. And it's all around the AI. It's everything they will. The Matrix, this might be more reality than we think.
What truth?
They're watching you, Neo.
Human beings are a disease. You are a cancer of this planet. And we...
And this is another movie with perfect freaking casting. Hugo Weaving? Are you kidding me? If there's anything he's going to be remembered for, it's Elrond and Agent Smith. Agent Smith, right? Boy, I tell you, I always tell people when you go live on YouTube, you drop 20 IQ points. Because once you say it, like it's recorded, right? So you got that wrong. You got that wrong. In regular conversation, you can always correct yourself, or someone corrects you. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. But Hugo Weaving was so freaking good, just like Elrond. I love Hugo Weaving. He's a great actor.
Are the cure.
Get me the hell out of here!
Welcome to the real world.
So you're here to save the world.
So what do you need? Guns. Lots of guns.
Classic, right? Guns. Lots of guns.
Has ever done anything like this?
That's why it's going to work.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy. Because Kansas is going bye-bye.
There's so much, like, it's just, all the visuals, like, right? All the visuals. What is the Matrix? You think that website's still up? What was it? What is the Matrix? What is the? I think it's down. I always punch these websites in that were on the trailers, and they're always down. Yeah, it's their connection. It's matrixresurrections.net. So it's been forwarded. So I don't know if you guys know. I was punching up. Where is it? Oh, I got too many screens open. I'm so bad with that. You know what I did? So I got a computer a year and a half ago, and I needed to I wanted to update the RAM, so I got 96 gig RAM, right? And I got a 6 trig hard drive because I didn't want my memory to be, when it tops up, you lose your whatchamacallit memory, and your computer can't, freezes, especially in Photoshop when you deal with massive. So ever since I got 96 gig RAM, and a 6 trig hard drive, I mean, I could have 200 screens open. There's no stop. There's no limit to how many screens I have open on Google Chrome. It doesn't matter. I've never, there's no limit. So I always have now, because I have too many screens open all the time. But many famous actors were considered for and turned down the roles long before Keanu Reeves was ever asked, which thank God they turned it down, because they included Will Smith. Will Smith might have been at the time kind of cool, right? He just did Independence Day and a few other, I'm not sure what other movies right around. Men in Black. He just did Men in Black. Johnny Depp, and Leonardo DiCaprio, and that was for Neo. For Morpheus, it wasn't Lawrence Fishburne. And how could you not have Lawrence Fishburne in The Matrix? It's like Russell Crowe was considered. Samuel L. Jackson. Well, I think Samuel L. Jackson is considered for any role for a black man in Hollywood, isn't he? Isn't he? Is that the running joke? That's the running joke in Hollywood. Gary Oldman for Morpheus. Gary Oldman. Maybe for Agent Smith, but you can't take out Hugo Weaving, right? I mean, come on. Sandra Bullock and Janet Jackson for Trinity. Nope. Would be no good. Carrie Ann Moss was just fine. The 8.7 on IMDb. It's got, very few movies get an 8.7. 2.2 million reviews. It just shows no movie gets 2.2 million reviews in it. Granted, it's been around for 26 years, 27 years. much different when, you get that much lead time into. But there's my rating. I gave it a 9 out of 10. So, but it's, it's always interesting. You get to a movie like this, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move that here. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to go like that. And then I'm going to, can I share this tab? Oh, mama. I get it. Oh, I'm so good at this, my friend. I'm so good. I love it. I also love accents. I'm an accent guy. I always loved doing accents ever since I could remember. Is that good? That works. Zootopia. You know what? I like the first Zootopia. Call me weird. I freaking thought that they were adorable. I did. I love the first Zootopia. Am I going to go see it? I might. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really want to review it. So if I'm not going to review a movie, why? Because I have this channel, that I also have Pop Rageous, my other channel, and both of them just, after moving from Los Angeles, I only have so much time. So I got to go see a movie that's worth my user reviews. I love the user reviews, right? 10 out of 10. There's going to be a lot of 10 out of 10. Just wow. When this came out, I was living with a roommate. He was out and saw it, and I came home and said, dude, you have to go see The Matrix. I think that's what everyone kind of 10 out of 10 benchmark forever. 10 out of 10. Yes, my first existential crisis. The timeless classic, the benchmark for all sci-fi films to come. And it still is. It's like Tropic Thunder being the benchmark for comedy, which actually it happens to be the zenith for comedy, because after Tropic Thunder, there was no movie comedy as good as Tropic Thunder. That was a good movie. A watershed moment in filmmaking. Yes, it was. One of the best action sci-fi movies of all time. 10, never felt like you're living. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Jeez, I gave it a 9, but I don't know if there are any 10 out of 10s, right? That suggests there's no room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. In human beings, in movies. As a screenwriter, I mean, what would I've never even considered the idea. What do you improve in the Matrix? I honestly, I don't think, maybe it is a 10. Shit, maybe it is a 10, for God's sakes. As I guess as a screenwriter, I've been in productions, I've done shit. What will you do to change the Matrix to make it better? I left the pause for a reason, just to think. What would you do to the Matrix to make it better? Realizing that anything that you might change is quite frankly could easily make it worse. Now the subsequent movies, they never find the magic. They never find the magic. It's the same with John Wick. They never found the magic of the first one. Very few movies do. Maybe it is a 10. Shit, maybe it is a 10. Do I got to change my IMDb score to a 10? I might have to think about that, right? I do. I might have to. I might have to. 9 out of 10. One of my favorites. At first, I wasn't interested in seeing The Matrix, but after hardly hearing any bad reviews for it, and believe me, I hear bad news from every movie I enjoy, I decided to give it a try. A masterpiece. You know what? 7 out of 10. Okay, I'm getting sick of comments saying stuff like The Matrix is the greatest film ever made. One of the greatest. You can never say it's the greatest film ever made. I don't even think anyone has said that it's the greatest film ever made. It's a great film. It's up there. You cannot not include it as one of the greatest films that are ever made. On so many, 5 out of 10. Hey, you know what? That's the thing about movies and stuff like that, right? It's opinion. Everyone might agree that blue is an amazing color, but someone walks along and says, hey, you know what? No, I hate blue. I don't hate it. And that's fine, right? It's an opinion. And that's one of the things you almost don't want to get, you almost, especially on all things in life, you don't want to argue opinion to the point of being with the ferocity that might, because you know how human nature sometimes, because when someone starts attacking you personally, they feel they've lost the argument, or they're more of a hothead than you are, right? Opinion does not need to, okay, you know what? Yeah, you thought it sucked. That's fine. I mean, most people didn't. Some people liked The Little Mermaid, right? Some people, I liked Zootopia, the first one. I know. It was like, but it was a good fucking movie. Like, it was fucking adorable. I don't even remember it. I remember I have. Welcome to the real world. What is The Matrix? Well, one of the best films ever. And that's exactly it. It's what is one of the best films ever. It's a spectacular movie. So well written that makes you questioning. It's not just so well written. It's not just so well written. It's taking a screenplay and then creating, because everything needs to be in sync. If you've miscast a role, you're in trouble. And it's like Peter Jackson with Aragorn, right? He knew he was in trouble. He knew he had to recast that role. When he cast Elijah Wood, he cast Elijah Wood for Elijah's ability to act with his eyes. Elijah Wood is a face actor. That's what Peter Jackson wanted. Nailed it. Ian McKellen wasn't the first choice for Gandalf, right? I mean, who? Sean Connery, right? Sean Connery. Oh, jeez. I think Sean Connery was the first choice, right? No. What was that guy? Walter Frey. Did you guys see Frankenstein? Walter Frey. When Frankenstein, that was the best looking. He was a good looking Frankenstein. He was too pretty, way too pretty. The second half of that movie was The Shape of Water. It wasn't as good as some people suggest it is. I thought the second half was so blocky, so Lego block plot, clunk, 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 and a forced motivation from Victor Frankenstein to hate Frankenstein. It was such a forced motivation. But Guillermo del Toro rocks ass. I mean, he kicks ass. So, oh geez, and I forgot where I was. like a little peanut, I run out, a squirrel run out on a limb, and I forgot how did I get here? Where the hell did I come from? So well written that makes you question reality. Oh, right, that's what I was talking about. So when you, as a screenwriter, so you write it, you got words on paper, but the director, the set designer, the cinematographer, everyone in lighting, everyone in costumes, they all need to come together. There's so many variables. You make one wrong casting, you miscast Neo, you're screwed. You might, the whole other movie might have been cast magnificently. You miscast Neo, and arguably Keanu Reeves was the best pick for that movie. You could argue Will Smith with what he did with I Am Legend, Men in Black. Not considering things that have happened since, obviously. The zeitgeist at that time. Johnny Depp wouldn't have been. Keanu Reeves was perfect. So all these things have to come together. One thing doesn't come together, doesn't work out. It's not perfect. The VFX people, the overall vision that the studio has with the director, cinematographer, and everyone else, if that doesn't line up, which is probably a big issue with nowadays with the movies being made, where I hope Paramount does not buy Warner. I mean, it's going to ruin so much. If Paramount buys Warner, you have got too much in one place, way too many properties in one place. Not Comcast, maybe Universal, but not Paramount. I don't think the Ellisons should own all of these properties. I just don't. I think an independent Zaslav, just keep the fucking thing, right? Unless they come out and offer you like $50 a share, it's hard to say no. It's almost impossible. Shareholders will come out and just vote yes to that thing, hands down, right? Because the properties they have, especially Sci-Fi, right? They got Sci-Fi, Lord of the Rings. Oh my God. How much is that worth? You know, Harry Potter. They got Dune. They got the goodies. Warner's got the goodies. Bleed off Discovery and let Warner stand by itself. I think that is the best thing for movies. Let competition. Let these movies come out. If anything, what Wicked for Good has taught us, whether you like the movie or not, whether you liked Barbie or not, $1.6 billion box office. When you make a movie for your audience, they show up, right? They show up. Make a movie for your audience. Make a movie for Star Wars fans. Hopefully Sean Levy does that with Ryan Gosling. I mean, it's a great lead. Sometimes you think that you'd want a lead that isn't very well known so that you can create characters just like Mark Hamill was back then. Harrison Ford wasn't especially. None of those actors were especially well known. The characters made them. They were good actors that fit really well into the characters. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, that is. I don't want to. We can. Let's do another. You know what would be interesting? Can we do Event Horizon? I want to do Event Horizon. What was the Event Horizon trailer? Horizon original. Event Horizon trailer. Trailer number 1 movie clips. Is that the original? Trailer 4K. Original theatrical release. There it is. That's got to be the one. Do we got audio? This is Event Horizon. This movie is so underappreciated. If there's ever a movie, if like you don't want to call it Event Horizon 2, but you do the story of where the Event Horizon went, right? And you don't turn into some. It's got to be deep. It's got to have a sci-fi, a science fiction, like me, science fiction lover screenwriter that has won many awards, like me. You know what? I could write the screenplay and I could submit it to the intellectual property owner. I'm not even sure who owns it. Is it Warner or Universal? A real science fiction writer could take this movie, not, like I say, not Event Horizon 2, but the story of the Event Horizon. Take the science of their, I don't know if they call it, what do they call it? A warp drive? I'm going to be starting a video tomorrow on this film on their drive. There's some information out there that actually discusses how their system was supposed to work, how it went multidimensional, where it potentially went to. I mean, I would love to write the screenplay. I really would. I'd be pitching a tent if someone said, "Danny, you got." Oh.
She won't let you. God help us.
That's so. I'm going to. And so with the Event Horizon, we have, Lawrence Fishburne, right? I don't know. The guy's Fishburne is fucking awesome, right? Sam Neill, perfect casting. The rest of the supporting cast, I don't think there was any bad choices in there. Everything worked. But when this movie was released, it was underappreciated. Just like, what was the movie? The 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was not appreciated when it was released at all. 6.6. This is a movie that, and I understand, this is a movie that could really upset people. This is sci-fi movie. This is literally a godless fucking universe movie, right? This is absolute mayhem. This is a movie that, like I say, the scenes that were so gruesome, so over the top, it was all dealing with the dimension that they went to. They destroyed the film. It was so upsetting. They destroyed the film. True story. Or at least they can't find it. At least they can't find it. They think they destroyed it because it was so that the studio executives did not want them. Did not want anyone to know. You can't do that, man. Because today it'd be like normal fare. It'd be like, oh, really? You destroy that? Fuck. Maybe they'll find it in some vault, right? Maybe the Vatican has it. Eh? Probably the Vatican has it. What do you think? I don't know. Probably. Criminally underrated. Fuck yeah, it's criminally underrated. I would love to see the director's cut. I would love to see the director's cut of that. Like I said, there was a director's cut. They took it out. They freaking burned the film. Oh. Ominous. Effectively disturbing. An intelligent, scary ride. It's just the actors are so good, you know. Is it a perfect screenplay? No. I don't know how you would want to make something like that better. Event Horizon is its own piece of science fiction. And again, this is the kind of stuff that astrophysicists, people who are scientists, flock to, and they watch it and their mind goes to, where did this ship go to? Right? A really good screenwriter, sci-fi screenwriter, could take this. I might even write that script. If I had to talk, writing a screenplay, guys, takes so much time. You have to lock yourself away for hours, days, weeks, months. But if someone ever said, Danny, do it, oh, fuck, I'd be 90s gold. Absolutely. A good mix of horror and sci-fi. Some people that hate this movie probably hate it for the fact that it is disturbing. And everyone's got a different opinion, right? This is a very polarizing movie. A criminally underrated horror masterpiece. I don't disagree with any of this. Decent sci-fi horror, underrated. Hell's Horizon, baby. Hell's Horizon. A promising start, but a disappointing end. Well, yeah, you can say that, I guess. I mean, I see where you're coming from. Totally get it. Save yourself from hell. Space madness. I think where did the Event Horizon? It disappeared at Uranus. Shit, I can't say that. It disappeared at Uranus. Uranus. Is that where it disappeared, or Neptune, or something like that, and reappeared at Jupiter? I'm not 100% sure on the lore. I gotta watch this again. And like I said, I'm doing on this channel, Godless Universe. I'm doing on their propulsion system. The physics behind, or the pseudo physics behind, obviously it's not, and where it might have went, the idea, concepts. I might have it out by Sunday or Monday if I'm able to get all the information together. Not your typical space horror movie. There's not many space horror movies, guys. I actually have a screenplay, and I cannot give ideas for the screenplay because people take these ideas and it's unfortunate. It's just a, part of the unfortunate thing with, because it's not out in any film festivals. I don't even have it at the Library of Congress yet. So disturbingly good horror gem. Anyway, that is the Event Horizon. Give me a fucking hell yeah. Yeah, that is guys, this is a godless universe. Sometimes a godless universe, that's where you want to be, right? And The Matrix, Event Horizon, Star Wars. Where else do we go? I'm not going to go to Logan. Logan is one of the best movies ever made. superhero movies ever made, Marvel movies ever made. It's probably up Logan and the first Iron Man. I got to say those two are, you know, sci-fi superhero gold. I also like the first Guardians of the Galaxy. That's where James Gunn was hitting it out of the park. You know what would be interesting? Interstellar. Interstellar was 2017, 2014. Interstellar. Let's look at the Interstellar trailer. Interstellar original trailer. Official movie. They always have one and then they have the second one, right? Okay, so this is the Interstellar official trailer. This is probably the first one. It's from the official Interstellar movie. Let's do this. So this is the Interstellar trailer. This is 15 years after The Matrix.
Little late, Coop.
Yeah, we had a flash. It's an Indian surveillance drone.
Matthew McConaughey was the perfect choice for this, right? Again, it's a movie where casting was on the money. This was Matthew McConaughey gave it. I thought Matthew McConaughey gave it this kind of the Matthew McConaughey thing, whatever that is, right?
Solar cells power an entire farm.
What'd you do, Murph?
Oh, she didn't do nothing.
Murphy's Law. You're a well-educated man, Coop, and a trained pilot.
And an engineer.
The world doesn't need any more engineers. We didn't run out of planes and television sets. We ran out of food.
Dad, why did you name me after something that's bad?
Oh, we didn't.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law doesn't mean that something bad will happen. It means that whatever can happen will happen.
The setup, and that's what Christopher Nolan does very well. I did not, guys. People are going to argue with me. I know, because I always get in the argument. Some people agree. The only Batman worth watching was the second one. The third one with Bane. I mean, there are a few highlights. That was a fucking bad movie. That was a bad movie. I think the most offensive part to that movie, and I only say this because of, Christopher Nolan, was when, what's her name? Batman just beats up Bane, beats the crap out of him, and she takes out that little butter knife and stabs Batman in the side. You're gonna poke that knife through the fucking bat suit, and all of a sudden Batman goes, "Ugh, oh my god!" And you're locking police officers underground, and then they come up 2 months later. They've all freshly shaved. What the fuck am I watching? Anyway, let's get back to Interstellar, shall we?
We must confront the reality that nothing in our solar system can help us.
Now you need to tell me what your plan is to save the world.
I actually did a video 5 weeks ago on the interstellar wormhole and basically talking about the real physics of a wormhole, what it takes to keep a wormhole open, what it would take to travel through a wormhole based on the physics that we know. It was about 5 weeks ago. I put it out there, and but the concepts that Christopher Nolan does in this movie, the idea of blight, the idea of a dying world, I mean, it goes pretty far, pretty extreme. Could you see it happening? Well, I mean, we can easily see human beings destroying this planet, right? I mean, we're good at fucking destroying shit. We're also good at making stuff. We're also very good. Science, I always say science is a superpower. Science is the only superpower. Religion is scrolls in caves. That's all religion is going to give us. Nothing against religion. But the only thing you're going to give us is more scrolls from more caves from 2,000 years ago. That's all you got. Science. Oh man, science has only just begun. Just begun.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it. And this is the mission we were trained for.
I've got kids, Professor.
Get out there and save them.
I have no idea when you're coming back.
And strong characters, right? The father leaving a daughter, right? Strong characters, strong emotional bonds, strong. You talk about, I mean, there wasn't a traditional antagonist in this movie, right? The mission was the antagonist. Blight was the antagonist. The secondary, from a screenwriting perspective, if you analyze this movie, it's like Forrest Gump. What was Forrest Gump really about? What was the inciting incident? Who was the antagonist? You argue in Forrest Gump, the antagonist was Gump himself. The antagonist was life. The antagonist was going out there and doing stuff in life. And if you think you can't do it, think again. Success comes at us at times maybe we least expect it because we put in effort and we try. But and basically, if you take a look at the third act, it was about Gump having a kid, right? The third act was about fatherhood. It was about being a father. That the success in life comes from simple things. It doesn't come from running across America. It doesn't come from being a ping pong, whatever it is. Success comes from simple things in life. The message in Interstellar isn't that far off of that. It's about family. It's about what if you came back and your daughter was older than you. Conceptually, that's that blows your mind, right? The spaceship, I forgot what they called it. Conceptually, it's a great idea, right? It's got the spin, like the way it looks weird. But if you're going to make a spaceship, that's probably what you're going to do. If you look at the Venture Star, what James Cameron did in Avatar, like, holy geez, they had some physicists on there building the Venture Star, the ship that, flies to Pandora. That is some really good science that Cameron did with and then with the, Valkyrie going down and landing, all that stuff. But in Interstellar, Nolan did some really good science. He did some really good science.
Interstellar travel. Murph, I love you forever.
I'm coming back.
And, it's a good trailer because it doesn't tell us much beyond the wormhole, right? When they go to Matt Damon's planet, the idea you talk about, if you were stranded on this planet, an ice planet, it really explored what a human being would be capable of, right? This character was touted as the best of us, and he turned out to be a bit of a dick, right? He turned out to be a bit of a dick. He tried to kill Matthew McConaughey, or at least strand him. What a dick. But there was good motivation, right? The motivations, Christopher Nolan tends to be pretty good with motivations. In the third Batman, no, he's not good. That's not a good movie. That is shit. That's a shit movie. I could go through it, and I think he wanted out, man. Let's just get this thing. Can I But Interstellar, that is Interstellar. You know what, guys? 2000 Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. 2001: A Space Odyssey. First 2001: A Space Odyssey. So just so that anyone know, you're showing up. What we're doing today is we're going back on sci-fi trailers, and we are looking at old sci-fi trailers. So far, we've done Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, The Matrix, Event Horizon, Interstellar. Now we're doing, what did I say? 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? 2001: A Space Odyssey original trailer. Space Odyssey original trailer, Warner Brothers. That's the one. Warner Brothers Rewind. Original theatrical trailer. Ah, jeez, I hate when they do this. So which one is it? Warner Brothers Rewind or Warner Brothers? One's 212, one's 324. Dang, you do the we'll do the long one, I guess.
Millions of years ago, before the human race existed,
Is that loud enough, guys?
an adventure began. An adventure that ultimately leads man to confront his own destiny in an odyssey of exploration.
This movie, if you haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, and you're a science fiction fan, do yourself a favor. Right? Do yourself a favor. Watch it. 2001: A Space Odyssey is movie gold. They will not do another movie like this. This was at the age where 1970, we haven't even landed on the moon yet, right? No, we did 69. We landed on the moon 69. Jeez, these years. I mean, I was 2 months old or 2 years old. The 70s. I mean, even though fashion was holy, jeez, I mean, right? Like fashion was not that good. Although some people will say fashion was great in the 70s. What inspired 2001: A Space Odyssey and Stanley Kubrick is not what is going to inspire anyone today, right? This world lives different. And that is the same thing throughout each decade. You could even argue this is how fast the world changes. Believe me, 10 years from now, what we're doing today is going to look stupid to where we are 10 years from now. It's going to be AI dominated.
Here's what started the whole thing. Well, we thought it might be the upper part of some buried structure, so we excavated out on all sides.
And what's more, it seems to have been deliberately buried. A shrieking monolith, deliberately buried by an alien intelligence, starts man on a mission 500 million miles into space.
Even the way they do trailers back then, right? This is 1970. This is 55 years ago. I'm 58 years old. And I think back to these times, like my first conscious thought and remembering the 1970s, which to think that some of the special effects and the storytelling, a science fiction story. This is when science fiction writers, people were at their peak. This is when Hollywood was actually enthused about science fiction and not turning it into a feminist, activist, Me Too movement movie with a little bit of science fiction. Even women, girls, women love science. Women that love science fiction want fucking science fiction. And this 2001 is some of the best. Great spaceship.
With 3 of its 5 crew asleep in hibernation, spacecraft Discovery 1 voyages towards Jupiter. Controlling the mission is a talking computer known as Hal.
That's one of the greatest antagonists ever devised for a movie. Hal. I can't do that. What was it? You can't believe it.
Hal, you're the brain and central nervous system of the ship. Does this ever cause you any lack of confidence?
Let me put it this way, Mr. Raymer. No 9000 computer has ever made a mistake or distorted information.
Another
In
great
the first year of the 21st century.
Another great concept for a spaceship, right? Another amazing concept for a spaceship.
There is strange and wondrous beauty, startling experiences that jolt and mystify, and the danger of complete obliteration.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
I mean, That is gold. I mean, that is you hear that. You hear that. And it's like that will live forever. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
So good.
And now, your journey is just beginning.
And you know, the music, I'm thinking, man, you know what? Even though it's a trailer, I'm thinking, is the music gonna like copyright hit this video? If it does, then I'm gonna have to delete this whole 2001: A Space Odyssey thing, which is the kind of the sucky thing. Although trailers are supposed to be there for people to watch, to review, to consume. Sometimes just stepping in but you have this iconic music like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I totally forgot about the music. We'll see what happens. I guess we'll see what happens, right? Maybe I'll talk over it enough that it doesn't. I mean, the soundtrack. The soundtrack is. Everyone knows that soundtrack. That's the thing. Everybody knows that soundtrack. That's why I'm listening to it. I said, "Oh, man, I'm sure they're gonna." Maybe not. Maybe not. It's Warner Brothers. They can be good. They can be really bad. Really bad. They could also be really good. So we'll see. And you got to think the time that this movie was made in. They got the nice glow. Look at the planet. That's not Jupiter. What are they doing here? Is that one of the moons of Jupiter? Because on the right hand side, now I'm confused. But the planetary glow, right? They got the planetary glow right. This is science fiction. 55 years ago. I don't even know how they would have done this 55 years ago. But everyone else said that too, was Stanley Kubrick. How did you do this? Like people were just blown away by how he made this movie look. It looked real. Oh, and the psychedelic. This is the psychedelic. People would go. Now, you guys, some of you guys might. This is actually very interesting. People would go to the theater. This is a lot of people say why 2001: Space Odyssey took off was because of LSD. So people would go. They would sneak. A lot of people would sneak in. And they would take LSD and they would watch this scene specifically and trip out in the theaters. Because you got to remember, it's the only place you could see it, right? I mean, if you wanted to see this psychedelic scene and trip out on it on LSD, it's not like you can rent the movie or it's going to be on streaming anytime soon. This is 1970, 71, 72. You had to go to theaters. And so what they attributed a lot of 2001: A Space Odyssey success to the idea that people would trip out on LSD and wanted to go see this. Because this scene lasts for like 3-4 minutes or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, to all those who love LSD, baby. I don't do drugs, so I don't know. But it is an interesting fact about this movie. It's an interesting fact. Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Oh, do you know who bought... You know who bought Metro Goldwyn Mayer? That was Amazon, right? Amazon bought Metro Goldwyn Mayer. And Amazon, did you guys hear? Amazon is putting out a new Stargate with the original producer. This could be good, right? If they may be able to, if they get Stargate right. I mean, again, that is a franchise of endless opportunity for science fiction people, for science fiction writers, for science fiction lovers, for science lovers. To create a franchise, please don't turn it into Rings of Power. For the love of Jesus, God, and the Trinity, which I don't believe in, but damn it, I'll pray to anything. that Amazon doesn't fuck up this next Stargate. And I hope, give them a good budget. Give them an Acolyte budget. Give them 350 million, right? Give them 350 million. Oh, we're almost at the 2-hour mark. I'm actually going to go to my other channel, Poprageous, for a couple of hours. Poprageous, I do pop culture, movies, reviews. Just fired that channel up after, oh my gosh. I've been gone from that channel for 18 months. So I just started, but you know what? Let's do one more. Let's do one more here on the Godless Universe. This is kind of fun, right? We're talking Blade Runner, right? Let's do Blade Runner. The original. 4K. Is there a 4K version? Warner Brothers. 338, 227. Blade Runner 19 official trailer. Ridley's 3.5 minute trailer. Warner Brothers Entertainment. Rotten Tomatoes Classic. Oh, I hate their logo on there. You know what? We're gonna do Warner Brothers. Let's do Warner Brothers. So, Warner Brothers. So I say I was in Hollywood and I lived in LA for 20 years almost. And as a screenwriter, I've won many awards. You could Google Danny Alex screenwriter. You'll see, in the film festival circuit that I've got, at least a lot of good things under my belt. And I have a lot of friends in the business, science fiction movies kind of stuff, right? And we always talk about some of the movies that really Ridley Scott blazed a trail for a lot of the science fiction in the 80s. Alien, Blade Runner. He was IMDb. What I love about Ridley Scott is there's no one better at making historical pieces. Kingdom of Heaven. I love Kingdom of Heaven. Have you guys seen Kingdom of Heaven? It is director is that's what I'm interested in. But he did G.I. Jane. I just scrolled G.I. Jane. Do you guys see G.I. Jane? Oh, jeez. Where are we here? God, 1965. Blade Runner 8.1. Alien 8.5. Legend. Only a 6.3 on IMDb. Black Rain. These are movies that he was a director on. Thelma and Louise. Remember Thelma and Louise? That was Ridley Scott, man. He's got. I mean, and that's just going back. I mean, he's got. I didn't mind Prometheus. Were there problems with the movie? Yeah, I just love what they kind of did with the engineers, and I thought there could have been so much more that could have been done with the engineers. Ridley Scott. Like if you take a movie like Kingdom of Heaven. The Leper King, which is a true story, which Liam Neeson was fantastic. Even Legolas, what's his name? Fuck, what they had to do to make those when Saladin came and attacked Jerusalem. It looked so good. Fuck, Ridley. He's not making good movies nowadays, though. He's not turning out, But this Blade Runner is such a classic movie, especially within people who are in the science fiction genre in Hollywood, who are writers, creatives, directors, and things like that. Blade Runner is like one of those like Alien that is like an epic classic within the community. And a lot of these people are no longer in Hollywood because they've been long put out of business, put out of a job. The good people that used to put out the good shit, they're not in Hollywood anymore because they're serving fish and chips at Denny's now.
Kind of nervous when I take tests.
I've got 4 skin jobs walking the street. They're either a benefit or a hazard.
they're a benefit. It's not my problem. Not my problem.
This was another role that Harrison Ford killed it, right? How many roles did Harrison Ford kill it? Indiana Jones, Blade Runner, Star Wars with Han Solo. The man got some seriously good roles.
I'm Rachel.
Deckard.
Have you ever retired a human by mistake?
By mistake, by mistake.
No.
I need the...
And the whole casting, right? Like, whole casting is, this is what makes movies. It's like it takes all these elements to come together. You can have a great script, but if the director fucks up in transferring the visuals on paper into actual visuals, or they miscast the lead role, which they do pretty much all the time nowadays. They got to make, like The Witcher, right? It's like a DEI contest. It's DEI contest. Who could DEI each other? Fuck.
The old Blade Runner. Blade Runner. This is a bad one.
How can it not know what it is?
If only you could see what I've seen, what I've seen, what I've seen.
More human than human is our motto.
What if I go north? Disappear. Would you come after me?
No, you wouldn't. But somebody would.
It's too bad she won't live!
Look at the lighting. A lot of times we could take lighting for granted. If you compare The Witcher to Game of Thrones, The Witcher comes out like a soap opera, right? It looks like a soap opera. They light from the top down. Corners in a castle are dark. If you look at Game of Thrones, castles are dark. They're gritty. They're gringy. They use natural lighting. The directors in Game of Thrones use natural lighting through the windows to light up the characters. Ridley Scott has used a team for decades who are impeccable at their jobs.
I can see you!
Time to die.
Epic visuals. They don't do this shit.
What seems to be the problem?
They don't make, there's nothing like this anymore. It's almost too risky. Compare this to Fantastic Four.
I want more life.
And Rutger Hauer, guys, Rutger Hauer was so fucking good in this movie.
An experiment. Nothing more. Nothing more. More human than human is our motto.
So good. Oh, I haven't seen this trailer in so long. Yep. That is movie making, guys. That is, I say, after 20 years in Hollywood, I escaped. I sold the business, sold everything, left that what is now an absolute shithole. The great people of movie making have left. They've gone to Vancouver. They've gone to Atlanta. They've gone to Calgary. Do you guys know, this is trivia. This is frickin', someone showed me this today. You will not believe this. There's only one place in the entire world, that is ratless, that has no rats in the civilized world. Now, when you go up north, like the colder regions, there's no rats. But you need to go to, like, I don't know what parallel you got to go to. Way up north, there's no rats. But if you Google map where there's no rats or something like that, there's only one place in this entire world that has no rats. Do you want to know where that place is? Do you want to know where that one place in this fucking world? I always could not believe it. It's right in the middle of Canada. It's called Alberta, Canada. You might know Edmonton and Calgary, the Calgary 1988 Olympics. The entire world, so in this map, the entire world is red. That shows, and then the only place in the world is this place, Alberta, Canada. There are teams of rat destroyers. The second there's any word of any rat anywhere in the province of Alberta, Canada, Google it. Google it. It's the only place in the world with no rats. No rats. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Guys, I'm going to be back here on Godless Universe, not tomorrow because we do Monday through Thursdays. On Saturday, I am on Pop Rageous with Pop Rageous Live. It's Saturday night. I just talk movies and kind of like we did. Today was kind of like a sci-fi movie thing, right? We went over some trailers. I'm going to go on Monday. I'm going to do the debunking of the age of disclosure of all these UFOs that people think they saw. We're going to show exactly what they are. Oh, boo, 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 boo. Boo, 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 boo. To all the guys, there's no aliens. Like, seriously. There's no aliens. So if you guys want to, I'm going to do this for 2 hours more on my other channel, Pop Rageous. I just fired that channel up. I mean, it's good to be back. Like, you know, I guess I spent almost 2 years away from YouTube just doing long form video. You know, writing scripts and having a deep British voice guy voicing them. But it's good to be live again. And I thank you all for joining me here on Godless Universe. We're back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, Underworld next week. Got to make sure I don't say underwear. I was so close because it's Kate Beckinsale. It's Kate Beckinsale. Each night next week, I'm going to do an Underworld movie review. We're going to go through it. So if you want to join and see a little bit more Pop Rageous on YouTube, I'm going to shut down for about 10 minutes and be live on Pop Rageous. And so Pop, yeah, exactly as it sounds. Pop, P-O-P, Rageous, Pop Rageous. And I will be there in about 10 minutes. And I will see you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays on a Godless Universe. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, my friends.